Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to the new topic. The difference between a fool and a wise. In Vietnamese we say sự khác biệt giữa kẻ ngu và bậc hiền trí. So now we come to understand what is the definitions of a fool and what is the definitions of a wise. According to the Buddha perspective, a fool is one who have the bad in speech, actions and thoughts, and he also endowed with the four main factors. A fool does not have a good attitude to one who used to have him. And second, the fool is unpurified by himself. And third, a fool have no any abilities to purify or to guide others in good deeds. And number four, a fool does not share and hope other people. In contrast, a wise always be minded and be maintained himself in a good attitude to other people and aim to purify himself and others, and also always have a good mindset to help other people. As in the Bali, the Buddha saying, this is for the fool or for a fool. In the Bali saying, Tika cha karato rati, Tikang santasa yo chanang, Tiko palanang sangsaro, Satamang avicca natang. It means long is the night to the wakeful, long is the journey to the weary, long is samsara to the foolish who know not the sublime truth. This is the fool. So the fool never minded on his actions and also cannot control himself. So at the end, a fool will gain much of sufferings in life. And also sometimes a fool can transfer himself to a wise truth. According to a Bali verse, Yo palo nanchati palang bandito vapi te naso palo cha bandita mani sa ve palo ti vuchati. Mean the fool who knows that he is a fool is for that very reasons a wise man. The fool who thinks that he is wise is called a fool indeed. There is a story how to differentiate the fools. On one occasion, two robbers joined the groups of devotees going to the Chetavana monasteries, where the Buddha was delivering a discourse. One of them listened intensively to the discourse and soon realized the Dharma. However, the second thief did not pay attention to the discourse, and he went about stealing from the devotees. After the discourse, both returned to the house of the second thief, who tortured the first thief. You are so wise. You have no money to buy anything to cook in your house. Hearing this remark, the first thief reflected, he is so foolish to think that he is his wife. Then, together with some relative, he went to the Buddha and related the matter to him. The Buddha explained that the fool who knows that he is a fool can, for that reason, at least be considered a wise man. But the fool who thinks that he is wise, indeed called a fool. The stories mean that if one who knows himself is a fool, it means that he himself has the good opportunity to transfer himself become a wise man later. But one is a fool, but he was confused. He is confused that he is a wise. It means that he himself is a fool indeed. And that is what we should learn and should rely from this Bali verse, or from this Dhammapada's verse. And how can we apply, or how can we do with a fool and a wise man? In the older Bali verse in Dhammapada, especially in the Bandita Vaka, or in the wise section, the Buddha says, "Na pache papake mite, na pache porisa tami, pache ta mite kalayani, pache ta pari suttami." Mean, associates not with a wise friend, Okay, sorry, one again. Mean associates not with evil friends. Associates not with mean men. Associates with good friends. Associates with noble men. This is the recommended from the Buddha. Also, according to this Pali verse in the Dhammapada, there is also following by a stories that called the stubbornness of Venerable Chanda, Channa. Channa was the attendant who had accompanied Prince Siddhartha when he renowned the world. When the prince attained the Buddhahood, Channa also became a bhikkhu. Although he was a bhikkhu, he was very stubborn and arrogant because he was proud of his close connections with the Buddha. Channa used to say, I accompanied my master when he left the palace for the forest. At that time, I was the only companion of my masters, and there was no one else. But now, Sariputta and Moggallana, Brahmin by birth, say they are the chief discipline and they hold the authority to control us. When the Buddha admonished him for his behavior, he keeps silent but continues to abuse and taunt the two chief disciplines. The Buddha said that Channa would not improve his way immediately, but would surely train after the parinippanas of the masters on the ears of his passing away. The Buddha called Ananda to his bedside and instruct him to discipline Channa by imposing the Brahma Thanda on Channa. For the bhikkhus to simply ignore him and not to invite him for anything. So after the parinippanas of the Buddha, Channa's learnings about restrictions imposed by him felt deep and bitter remorse for having done wrong. He admired his remarks and apologized to the Sanghas. From that moment, he changed his ways and also obeyed all the instructions in his meditation practice and soon attained arahanthood. To the ends of the story, we can learn that we should not associate with a fool, because a fool always leads us to step on the bad way and far away from the freedom, the freedom of minds and to fast away from the enlightened achievement. So we have to stay away from the fool, and on our monastic life too, we have to associate with a good friend, because a good friend will be our good friend and also guide us to the ends of all kinds of suffering. And sometimes also can be our good sponsors, our good supporter, and also can be our good mentor too. So on the way go to Nibbana, we really need a good mentors. So if you wish your life success and happiness, follow this. Okay, follow this Bali verse, and one more important Bali verse in this section. I think that the Buddha used to say in this version, yes. Okay, in this version that the Buddha called, the wise are peaceful. So if you wish to gain the inner peace, you can follow this following Bali verse. The Buddha saying, Yathapi Rahato Kampiro Vipassano Anavilo Ewang Dhammani Sutwana Vipassi Tanti Bandita. Mean, just as a deep lake is clear and still, even so, on hearing the teachings, the wise become exceedingly peaceful. Also followed by a story that is a lady who abused the bhikkhus, Kana. Kana Mata was a devoted lay discipline of the Buddha. Her daughter Kana was married to some man from another village. As Kana had been on a visit to her mother for some time, her husband sent a message asking her to come home. Her mother requested her to wait for a few more days, as she wanted to send along some cake for her son-in-law. The next day, Kana Mata made some cakes. When 4 bhikkhus came to her house for alms food, she offers all the cake to the bhikkhus, leaving none for Kana to take home to her husband. Kana was also not able to go home for the next 3 next 3 consecutive days because her mother has a glance over all the cake she had made to the bhikkhus when they came for almsfood. As a result, Kana's husband took for himself another wife. Kana became very bitter towards the bhikkhus. She accused them for having ruined her marriage. She then revealed and abused every bhikkhu she saw, so all the bhikkhus keep away from her home, from her house. The Buddha, knowing what had happened, went to the house of Kana Mata. The Buddha sent for Kanas and questioned her, "Did my bhikkhus take what was given to them or what was not given to them?" Kanas answered that the bhikkhus had taken only what was given to them, and then added, "They were not in the wrong, only I was in the wrong." Thus, she admitted her fault, asked for pardons, and even paid her respect. The Buddha then gave a discourse. At the end of the discourse, Kana attained the first stage of sainthood, Sota Patipala. On the way back to the monasteries, the Buddha met King Pasennathis of Kosala. King Pasennathis asked whether the Buddha has been able to make her realize her faults and make her see the truth, the Dharma. The Buddha replied, "Yes, I have taught her the Dharma, and I have also made her rich spiritually." Then the king gave the Buddhas an assurance that he would make Kana rich in her present life. The king then summoned Kanas to the palace. When she arrived, he announced, "Whoever can support my daughter Kanas in compose may take her." One of his ministers adopted Kanas as his daughters and gave her all his wealth. He said to her, "You may give in charities as much as you like." Every day Kana makes offering to holy people who come to her house. When told about Kana's giving generously in charity, the Buddha said, "Bhikkhus, the mind of Kana, which was foggy and muddled, was made clear and calm after listening to the Dhammas." According to this story, we understand that there is three resources of wisdom. The first one is wisdom could gain by listening to the Dhamma. And the second, wisdom could achieve by thinking, based on the particular principles of the Dhamma. And number three, wisdom can often by Dharma development. In Pali we call Sutta Maya Panya, Chinta Maya Panya, and Bhavana Maya Panya. So, in the modern words or in the common words, we can say that knowledge gained by learning, practicing, and wisdom learned by wisdom or knowledge gained by learning, thinking, and practicing. So keep moving forward for that. And the last one is also for one who wish to become a wise man, especially for the monastic life. The Buddha saying in this verse that Kanhang Dhammang Vipahaya Sukhang Paveta Bandito. Bandito is mean the wise. Oka ano kang oka no kang akama viveke yatha thoramang tatra pirating Ichaya Hitwa Kami Akinchano Pariyo Tapeya Attanang Chitak Kle Sehi Bandito Ye Sang Sampoti Ang Kisu Samma Chittang Supavitang Athana Pati Nissake Anupathaya Ye Rata Kinasawa Chuti Manto Te Loke Pari Niputta means the wise man leaving the home of cravings and having Nibbana as his goal should give up dark states and cultivate pure, good one. He should cease great delights in solitude, detachment, and Nibbana. Which ends ordinary man finds no delight in. He should also give up sensual pleasures and clinging to nothing. Should purify himself of all mental impurities, those with mind well development in the factors of enlightenment, and who have rid themselves of all craving, rejoice in their abandonment of grabbing. Such men with all moral defilements eradicated and power with the likes of Arahantship have realized Nibbana even in this world. So that also emphasize with the stories from the darkness to the brightness. Here it mentions a group of bhikkhus after observing Vasas in Kosalas come to the Buddha for advice on meditations. And the Buddha advised them to give up sensual pleasures and worldly attachments, which would pave the way to attain Nibbana. According to this verse, the Buddha advised to abandon all kinds of cravings, because cravings is the cause of suffering. And also advised focus on our moralities, our concentrations, and our factors of enlightenment. So for the monks, so novices and nuns who live the family to be renounced and stay as a monastic life. Yes, have to follow this. And one more important thing. We have to stay away from the ideas of I and minds. Okay, don't try to belong anything, any material. For example, don't try to think that this body and mind are mine or belong us forever, and don't think that's okay. My sons, my money, my house, my position, my rank, and also my my property, something like that. Because those things are impermanent. For example, for our body and mind, we are gonna live our body and minds when the death. Okay, when our death is coming, and after we dead, we bring nothing with us. Okay, we cannot bring our children, our house, our car, our money, our property with us. We left those things that we really attach to this world, and that property will be changed their owners, right? So it's so impermanent. So the Buddha told us so clearly on that, so that we can live a life freedom from those things. And only our karma, or our results of karma, will go along with us after we die. So take care of your own karma, because your own karma will be your accompanist after you die, and also can bring you to the offers or to the suitable realms for the next life. So what is the difference between a fool and a wise going off to this point? So I hope that you all can classify what is a fool and what is a wise man. And if you wish your life happiness, so try not to associate with a fool, and try all your best to associate with a wise man and learn from a wise man, and consider a wise man as your good friend, and we are better together. Namo Buddhaya.